Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Box Office Quarterbacks, where today we're going to be talking about a really great Showtime show as its second season has premiered now, Yellowjackets. And with me to talk about this great show is Ahmed. Ahmed, we were so excited to get back in front of the camera to talk about this show.
It was about time. I mean, we kept texting each other going, when is season two coming out? When is season two coming out? And now I'm wondering when is episode three coming out?
Yeah, it's coming out next Friday, guys, but we're going to talk about episode one and two right now, real quickly. We are going to get into some spoilers, and then we're going to do predictions for the remainder of season two. And at the end of the season, we'll get back together, kind of check out how those predictions came out. But so far, let's start with the first two episodes. We've seen a little bit of what happened with Shauna and her affair, like a little bit of the her consequences so far, and what it's looking like for her. And we also got a big question answered as to who is the first person that they eat. And I don't think it's that big of a surprise. Did you? Were you surprised whenever it was going to be when you realized it was going to be her?
I mean, I guess I didn't, but like just to kind of see the interaction of it, the introduction to it, that was the part that was very haunting. And I think that's what made the second episode so powerful. And if you haven't seen it yet, pause this recording, pause this episode, go watch episode two, and then come back and visit us. Okay, do it now. All right, now you're back. We're all spoilers. Okay, we're good. We gave them plenty enough time. Yeah, man, it was so haunting, and I was watching it with my wife, and I got her
My
into it,
wife.
and my wife, and she loves it, and she was like, I've never been so creeped out before. I've never like I'm gonna get nightmares over this. And I think that's just what makes it such a good show. Or like this might be their best episode so far. I'm curious
Yeah.
how the next episodes will try to top that.
Yeah, Ems, my girlfriend and I, we you really dinner and watch TV, watch a movie or something, and because we're both the kind of can't just really stand in silence. But like Last of Us always tested us because we were always like, should we really be watching The Last of Us while we're eating meats and all this stuff, especially the cannibal episode. And then this episode was coming out, and I knew they were going to eat somebody. I just knew because especially since the episode one ends with Shauna eating an ear. I was like, they're gonna go balls to the wall, eat a full ass human being in episode two. And I told him this. I was like, we're gonna have to not eat while we're watching this, and we still ate. We were eating spaghetti too. So, not spaghetti. It was pasta. It was pasta. So
Oh
it was just like
God.
all
Oh
red and bloody. It
no.
was great. But it was really interesting, and I love the way this show does things because this show is very psychoanalytic. I think it gets into your mind and makes you get into the mind of all these characters, and really asks that question: would you do it if you were put in this situation?
I
Um,
mean, I know I would be eaten. That's I wouldn't be the one eating anybody. I'd be the one that was like, all right, clearly I'm the weakest of the bunch. Go ahead.
oh my god, no! Give yourself some credit, man. But it was it was really interesting, and I love the way it was shot. As weird as that sounds, because it was very creepily shot, because it was showing you exactly what you knew was going to happen. Like you saw that snow in the branches over her body, and you just it falls over it, and I'm like, oh shit! I look at Emily, and I'm like, they're slow cooking her. They are
Yeah.
smoking her right now, and it's going to smell like barbecue to them.
Well, and don't forget, they haven't been able to find any wildlife already. So it was just a matter of time. But, it kind of just the coach's reaction, whenever he sees them eating, it's like, great, we're at this fucking level now.
Well, that's what I want. I want to know what your thoughts are on the coach's reaction and what you think he's thinking.
Oh, he's next. He knows he's next too, probably. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to speak ill of the crippled here or the disabled. Box office quarterbacks does not stand for this. However, during this period, this fictional period, they're probably thinking, we have to kill the weakest one. Coach is the weakest.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Coach is the weakest, and that is the situation he saw. I saw him see in pure terror for multiple reasons. He was terrorized because he didn't think they'd ever go that far. And then he was also terrorized because while realizing that since they are going that far, they're not going to stop there.
that's right. It's only going to get worse from
And
here.
it's going to get worse. So who's next? So it's interesting to see who's next. And that's where I want to go into our predictions bit of this. Just who do you think is next? Is Coach the obvious pick, or are we going to get a surprise? Is Javi going to make a return where they find him and decide he's too weak? He's been alive and clinging to life for too long?
I mean, who knows? It would be interesting to see if Javi is still alive. But you know, the show is so good at just when you think you know what's going to happen, they completely blindside you. Um, I mean, I didn't think Jackie was going to die in the first season. I sure as hell didn't think she was going to be the first one they ate. Hell, I didn't even think that we would see Lottie in adult form, let alone that she was responsible for killing Adam, or I'm sorry, not Adam, but uh, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Oh, you mean Travis?
Yes, I mean Travis. That thank you. Um, it just with everything that's been going on. Hell, I there was a point where I thought, oh, this is going to be like Travis's dream, right? This is going to turn into like the everyman fantasy where he's stranded on an island or a forest with a bunch of women. And then it ends up being scary whenever they're on mushrooms and they're attacking him. And and I thought he might have been the first one they were going to eat.
Yeah, so he's another possibility, and I think Coach, like you said, is the obvious choice. But this show, like you said, does not always do the obvious things. Um, However, Javi took part in eating Jackie,
That's right.
or
So he's going to be
not Javi,
complicit.
Travis, excuse me. But
Travis.
he is complicit. So I don't know, but I mean that is interesting. I'm picking Coach because it is the only one I think makes sense. But if I had a dark horse, I'm going with Travis. But no, wait, we know Travis doesn't get eaten.
Yeah, he doesn't get eaten. He's definitely going to be complicit.
Duh.
But but I did think that Mari was also going to get eaten, or like towards the very end, just like in the first episode when you see someone, getting chased through the wild and everything. I think that's Mari. I think so, just because she hasn't been getting a lot of screen time, but we know her well enough that we know her name. It's got to be one of the unknowns, obviously,
I
but
think
it's
it's
definitely
one of the no name girls. There's a good amount of no name girls. I think we're going to see get killed off and eaten over the next several weeks as well.
like the new chick who befriended Misty. Where the hell has she been this whole time?
Yeah, like I'm like, did you just like decide to come up for the weekend? Like, how did you get here?
Yeah, she's just
What
here
happened
visiting.
here? Like, just just came. I was like, it's like a weekend I think in college or something. Like, just gonna go out in the woods see my cannibalistic friends. But
It looked like fun.
but let's stop talking about the cannibalism for a minute because I want to know. Let's go back into present day. What's going to happen in the Shauna storyline? Because right now, Shauna killed her boy toy, her
Lover.
little romantic lover, Adam, and torched his or not. Okay, let's talk first about the stupid mistake she's already made. Right. When she found out that he had this secret art studio, she took her husband there to get rid of all the paintings and evidence of her. There was a lot. And instead of taking, but like they have sex there. If
Yeah.
they found it, the cops are going to find it. You have bodily fluids when having sex.
Yeah.
Um, but like, and at this
They
point,
snuck in
her
too. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. Just sneak into this place and have sex in the room that you're not supposed to be in.
exactly, exactly. So now we're talking about that, and you, her daughter also is in a power position of power now. Her daughter is able to blackmail her. Her daughter has the license of remaining piece of the license that was burned, and helped her mom out when the police showed up at her home.
But
But
also talk to that guy she didn't realize was a cop.
Yeah, dude.
airing dirty laundry.
When I saw that guy, I was like, this man's a fucking cop. I looked at him. I was like, this man's a cop. I was like, this man is the worst undercover cop because he was like, I'm gonna grow the '70s undercover stash.
This is why I love Gerald.
Unbutton my polo and sit at a bar drinking whiskey with cigarettes, just watching the news at 4 p.m. on a Monday. Like,
And
what
doing
the
a
hell?
crossword, yeah.
I'm doing a crossword, and then just looks at the very obviously underage girl,
Well,
like
okay, so
wearing
that's
like
the thing. She ends up saying that she's doing some semester at Rutgers. So this is, I guess, where we finally realize that, oh, she's not a teenager.
no, she's a teenager. She goes to high school.
So,
She's in high school.
but she was sitting at the bar with a drink.
Fake ID. They were already talking about. I'm pretty sure she's. I don't know,
Me,
man.
see what I
Maybe
mean?
this.
And
You
that's
know what?
what
I'm keeping
that's.
this in the podcast too because I'm pretty sure she's in high school.
I
I am
thought the
pretty
same
sure
thing. I thought the same thing. That's
because
why it
she
was
had
so weird.
curfews.
She had curfews.
She has all those things, and this isn't that much longer after what just. This is literally picking up in present day, right after last season. So, I just like maybe a few weeks has passed. I think she's a fake ID. I think she's bashing out against her mom. She knows that her mom knows what she knows, and she knows what her mom knows, and all that shit. So like I think
But
she
I
was
just,
just doing
but
that. I think she was just too stupid not to realize it was a fucking cop. Like that was a cop, 100%.
clearly, but again, and that's why it upsets me that she mentioned Rutgers, because now as a viewer, I'm going, wait, wait, wait. Was she not a teenager this whole time? Because that whole episode, me and my wife were just going, teenagers, man. I'm sorry. Like, I just can't deal with teenage angst. Like, my parents don't even know that I'm gone. Then mom's like, I just want to spend time with you. And she's like, ugh, go away, mom. Get out of my room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, she knows her mom's a murderer, so
Yeah, so don't fuck with her. Like,
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sorry, but if my father was a murderer, and I mean, my father was a veteran, is a veteran, so I'm pretty sure he's done some things. I would never cross him either way. You can keep that.
God damn it, Ahmed. All right. Well, let's keep going. So far, what are you? I mean, overall, the first two episodes they've delivered. I think. We rated this. I think show a Hall of Fame show. Whenever we rated it originally, I'm going to keep it. So far, season two is holding up to that. I think they're going to eat Coach next. I think that Javi might be on the menu if they come up. We're definitely going to see a few randoms eaten. I'm interested to find out kind of like the initial repercussions. Who says what and who gets upset or who regrets what they just did. And also, I think it's interesting to find out like, is Shauna going to go to jail? And if Shauna goes to jail, her friends are all implicated.
Yeah, Thais is next in terms of going to jail, losing her campaign. I'm curious how Misty's gonna just skulk her way through all of this. I I do still give it a Hall of Fame. I wonder if Elijah Wood's casting will screw that up,
Yeah, what do
and
you think's
that's
going to happen with him?
I have no idea. I kind of don't know why they included him, and that's not a bash on Elijah Woods. I'm just like, where does he fit in all this? Because right
Yeah,
now it just seems like they're forcing a male character because they were like, guys, we're losing our male audience. We need a likable male. Hey, what's Elijah Woods been up to? Nothing. Give him a call.
Oh man, no, I mean, I think I don't know why he's here, but to me, I think it's going to kind of be a that Adam character to Misty. Misty might end up killing him because he gets too close to the whole thing and finding out everything. While also she's trying to find ways to keep the cops away because he's probably in on what the cops are looking into. So
Yeah.
um, I think that's what he's going to end up being. Either that or he's a really good undercover cop.
Yeah, that other guy should take notes. The
Yeah, other guys
70s
should take
mustache
notes.
guy.
The '70s mustache guy freaking sucks. But we're gonna get back and talk about this show in a few weeks. Ahmed, is there anything else you want to add about these first few episodes?
Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming because Christina Ricci, Melanie Lewinsky, I hope I'm saying that right off the top of my head, and all of the cast and crew in this, they've been killing it, and they're killing it and
In
eating
more
it
than
now
one way.
in one
In
way,
more...
killing and eating it now. Um, and I love the way they filmed the cannibalism scene without really showing us them eating her, um,
Yeah.
making it look like they all. Because I mean, like think about it, they're all hungry as hell. They're seeing shit at this point, and the smell may be rancid to somebody like me and you who sees that on the normal street, if that would ever come up. But like to them, it might smell like a whole damn buffet.
I mean, that's
So
why they had them in Greek outfits and
yeah,
to a toga
and
party.
and I think that's why this show is a very psychoanalytic show and puts you in that. Would you do this if you were in this situation? And what
I
would you
mean,
drive? Like, what would have to happen to drive you to do it? So I want to
eh.
see if our listeners and viewers what they think the show is asking of you, the viewer, or the characters, and the characters at the same time. So let me know. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media. For Ahmed, I'm Gerald. This has been Box Office Quarterbacks. We'll be back later this week, I think, with Super Mario, or maybe Air again next week. So stick around for all that.